Hi, for this video I'm going to talk about my Ford F-150 and the trickle charger that I bought from this company. And it's a little 6 volt, 12 volt, 2 amp charger, and basically it'll do what will it do? It'll do a standard low amp charge, or it'll do a maintenance charge, or it'll do a pulse repair. Now I've got another pulse repair charger that I tried for my Ryobi mower, trying to bring those batteries back to life, and didn't seem to work for me. And those were lead acid batteries, the old ones. Point is that my F-150, I don't drive it that much. It's 2019, and now it's just into 2025, approximately 6 years old. I've replaced the battery once. That's another video. It didn't last as long as I thought it would, because even right now my truck has only got 25,000 miles, so that's less than 5,000 miles a year. So the battery has basically gone dead because, or went bad, because of the discharging for all the stuff that's running in the background when the truck's not running. Like this last time, it sat for about 2 weeks since I drove it the previous time. And in that time, it's constantly checking the battery. It's waiting to see if it's going to get any Wi-Fi messages, or if somebody's going to push a key fob, or open the door, turn a light. Anyway, it's got electronics that are running in the background. Not like the old cars, when you turn off the key, there's no power coming off the battery. Now there's constantly power coming off the battery. Well, that's one of the reasons they put a BMS, I believe, on here, is to monitor the battery level and start to turn certain things off. So for example, if I leave it turned off for too long, then it starts disabling a few things, such as the remote start. It won't start the truck remotely once the battery reaches a certain level. And what I learned on my Ryobi is that when you've got a full charge, the Ryobi mower is kind of a deep cycle operation. So you'll mow until it goes, okay, that's enough, and it starts shutting the blade off and starting saying, I'm getting too low, go get it charged up. And then you charge it back up. Well, after you've done that so many times, lead acid, it will never reach that 100% charge again. It keeps getting worse, worse, and worse. So my mower lasted for 2 years. Something similar, I think, happens with the F-150. What I did was I got a trickle charger. Now, this trickle charger is with a twist, and this isn't necessarily what you would want to do, so I'm cautioning you that you do this at your own risk, because there are some disclaimers, and I'll go through that in the end of the video. But what I did was I've connected the trickle charger up semi-permanently to my battery. So let me show you what we've done. I've got the trickle charger plugged into the wall here, and actually right now it's running. It's pushing 0.9 amps at 13.9 volts. It'll go up to, in my case, it's going up to 15 volts. I sent a message to the seller, and the seller said yes. In so many words, they said, yeah, that's normal and it's okay. If you go online, everybody says the max charging voltage is like 14.7 volts for lead acid 12 volt batteries. But in this case, it's only pushing, by the time it gets up to 15 volts, it's only trying to push like half an amp, so it's not pushing a whole lot. But like I said, there are some cautions in the instructions of what to do, or actually more what not to do. So I'll go over a few of those at the end of the video. So anyway, I got it plugged into the wall, and then what I did was I screwed it down into my bench. And this is a bench that'll fold down and fold up, so I can just leave it plugged in there. The cord is kind of kept from pulling away from the wall or from the charger. So like I said, I've got the wire kind of attached right here to the bench to keep it from pulling this off the wall. And then I had to lengthen the wire a little bit to reach my truck. So I had a length of wire, and I connected that up. And here it is, another splice. And here, this is just a cap that I don't use. And here's one of well, this is the connector that comes with it. And you can kind of see where I'm going with this. With this thing plugged in, it's charging. And it goes through a small hole in the grill. This is an XLT with a lariat grill, so I don't know if it's going to be different on other F-150s. But it was just a convenient hole. I didn't have to drill any holes or anything. And then I've just passed the wire behind the headlight, goes up to here. And then there's another hole back in there. You can just see it. And then it runs back into here. And I want to put another zip tie here and wrap that around there to anchor this wire to the truck, so that the two eyelets over here, this is the one eyelet that comes with the charger, and I had to run another little extension here, and I also had to put in a fuse on the positive side, so that if anything rubs through on the wire or whatever and it shorts out, that at least will blow the fuse. And I just put a 5 amp fuse in there, so any kind of short at all is going to blow that fuse. And then that positive is hooked up to this one here. So it's hooked up to the terminal. So the trick is that now I can just get into my car after I'd smitten for 2 weeks, start the truck up, and just back it up, and it'll automatically unplug, and I'm on my way. I thought it was pretty clever. But you're welcome to leave a comment on how not clever it is. Like I said, there's a few do's and don'ts in the instructions that I'll share with you. But some of the important things here that I want to share with you is that this is only for lead acid batteries. Don't use this on lithium batteries. Disconnect the power before connecting. So when they say disconnect the power, they mean pull it off the wall before disconnecting or connecting the charger to the battery, which I'm not doing. So that's a no-no. When charging, make sure you keep don't cover the battery or the charger. The battery, of course, because it will give off some fumes at, even at 1 amp, there's going to be some fumes. There won't be a whole lot. I got a pretty big area in here, so I don't worry about that. The charger will give you an ERR or error message if you connect the connections backwards. It doesn't like that, but it'll not operate. Charging the battery in the vehicle is not allowed. It may result in damage to your car electronics. So keep that in mind. As I said, the charger displays up to 15 volts, which is pretty much on the high side. And I'm sure that if you unplug the connector like I showed you I did, that might cause a spike in the voltage or the amperage even. That could cause some damage to your electrical system, so don't tell Ford. Other than that, there are some of the normal battery charging cautions and warnings that you should read, but nothing that's unusual compared to any sort of battery charging. So, nice little user's owner manual, relatively easy to read. Got some good information in here, so don't ignore it. Anyway, I've been running this for a couple weeks now, and it seems to be working. I've driven the truck a couple times. So far, I don't think I've damaged any electronics. All right, we're going to give her a yank. All right, let's give it a yank.